If you're new to working out, it can be really intimidating to be hitting the gym, really not knowing what exercise to do, not knowing if you're doing it in the right way, and you definitely don't want to be that guy that everybody's looking at because you're doing something crazy. And so with that said, in this video, I'm gonna share exercises to do at the gym for beginners. Now, before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. Let's get to the action. All right, champs, this video is gonna be pretty rapid fire. I'm gonna share all the key exercises to do for our major muscle groups. I'm talking about chest, triceps, shoulders, legs, which includes our quads, our calves, and our hamstrings, as well as our glutes. With that said, let's go ahead and dive in. Number one, chest press. This is by far one of the best exercises you can do, not just for your chest, but also for our triceps. A lot of guys think that we always have to do isolation exercises like tricep extensions to hit our triceps or chest flies to hit our chest. But I believe the chest press machine, most gyms are gonna have them, is the best exercise to start out with as a beginner because one, the machines, you don't have to worry about balancing the bar or balancing the dumbbells. It's just a great overall exercise to build up that strength and get some muscle consciousness, understanding how to get that mind-muscle connection when you're working out, as well as just confidence to get to the point where you feel strong enough to where you can transition on into doing barbell chest press and dumbbell chest presses. Number two, lat pull downs. This exercise is just like chest press, but we're working our lats as well as our biceps. That's what I mean. We're working two different muscle groups at one time. And so with lat pull downs, it's just like doing a pull up or a chin up, but instead we're using the machine and we're just pulling the bar down to our upper chest. And so if you're somebody, you want to have that V-taper look, you know, most guys, we aspire to have that V-taper look that we see these guys in these movies have, or like the models that we see on the front of the covers of Men's Health magazine. We get the V-taper by building out our back, okay, by hitting lats. And so lat pull downs is an exercise that does that specifically. It not only works our lats, but it also works our biceps. Next is gonna be one-arm dumbbell rows. This is a back exercise, but it also works our biceps too. But one of the things that I love about doing the one-arm dumbbell row is that it works the rear delts, because most times what people do, we're just doing like a lot of chest press exercises. We're doing some lateral shoulder raises. And so we get the front and the side of our shoulders developed, but a lot of guys don't develop the back of their shoulders. And we develop the back of our shoulders by doing things like rows and bent over shoulder flies, things like that. But specifically, one-arm dumbbell rows is gonna develop the back of our shoulders, is gonna get our back thick, it works our rhomboids as well as our lats. And then because we're working one arm and we're kind of like offsetting things, working our core as well. And so this would be one of the best exercises that I say do for our rhomboids and lats. Number four is gonna be goblet squats. The reason I say goblet squats is because when we're working legs, when you think about working legs, most people who are new and beginners to exercising and working out, you kind of don't want to go to the gym and put that barbell on your back or your shoulders and do barbell squats. You know, it can be a very intimidating exercise because you don't want to injure yourself, you don't want to hurt your back or anything like that. And so an alternative to doing barbell squats is doing a goblet squat, where we just get a dumbbell, and as you get stronger, you'll be able to use a heavier dumbbell. And the great part about goblet squats is not only are we working our legs, but we're also working our core to a higher degree, as well as our shoulders. And so this is one of those exercises that should definitely be a foundational exercise for building your legs. And even as you get stronger and get to the point where you can do the barbell squats and get that confidence to do barbell squats, I'd still implement some goblet squats in your routine. Number five, shoulder press. Shoulder press is just like the chest press exercise and the lat pull down exercise. It's working two muscle groups at one time. And so shoulder press is not only working our shoulders, but it's also working our triceps. Shoulder press is one of my top three exercises because when you think about having the perfect physique as a guy, there's certain things that really bring out our aesthetics, that make us look really attractive and aesthetic. And one of the muscles that makes us look that way is our shoulders. Women are attracted to guys who have broader shoulders. When you think about guys like The Rock, Hugh Jackman, these guys have broad shoulders. They have thick, 3D shoulders, baby. And so doing shoulder press exercises, whether it be with the machine or if you're doing it with some dumbbells, this is gonna be one of those exercises that's going to help you really broaden, thicken, and develop your shoulder muscles. And number 6 is gonna be leg curls. Now, most guys, they do the squats, they do the leg presses and things like that, and it's developing our quads and our glutes if we're getting deep enough, but it's really not hitting those hamstrings like we need to hit those hamstrings. And so outside of doing Romanian deadlifts, which is a little bit more of a complex exercise, we won't talk about that one specifically for this video because this one is for beginners. We're gonna talk about leg curls. And so there's 2 different types of machines out there. There's the seated leg curl machine where you're basically just sitting down and you can kind of like curl the pad back and you're hitting your hamstrings. But then the other leg curl machine is the one where you're pretty much like laid over on the pad and you're curling that pad, you're curling your ankles to your butt, hitting your hamstrings. And so this is great because you don't want to find yourself being overdeveloped in one area and underdeveloped in another. For example, you see a lot of guys who do a lot of chest exercises, but they always neglect working their back. They never really hit, the pull-ups or the rows and things like that. And so they have this big chest, but their back is weak and they start having posture issues and things like that. That's not what we want, guys. And so be sure to add leg curls into your routine because it's gonna help you develop your hamstrings. And so that way it's gonna help you have, fully developed quads as well as fully developed hamstrings. And then exercise number 7 is gonna be straight leg calf raises. Now this exercise is near and dear to my heart because as I was growing up, I used to have these little twig legs. I played sports and, I was strong, I was fast, but my legs were very underdeveloped. I didn't have no calf definition or nothing. But as I got older, as I got more experience with working out, I was diligent and consistent. I was able to build up these calves by doing straight leg calf raises, a good 3 to 4 days a week. Now, what you're gonna notice is certain people were underdeveloped in certain areas. And for me, it was my calves. And so I found myself having to train my calves more often, more frequently to really develop them. Okay, and so you may find yourself having, underdeveloped shoulders or underdeveloped chest. In general, we want to hit every muscle group at least twice a week. But if you have a muscle group that's really underdeveloped and you want to develop that muscle more, you can do as much as 3 times a week or even 4 times a week with that specific muscle group to develop it faster. And so with that said, straight leg calf raises is what's gonna help you develop and build your calf muscles up. You can do this by having a barbell on your shoulders and basically just raising up on your toes, doing standing calf raises with the barbell. But then you have the leg press. You can also do it with the leg press, like an angled leg press, and you can slide your feet to the bottom of the platform and basically just do calf raises right there as well. And then probably the last way, certain gyms have this, but not all gyms, they have the straight leg calf muscle machine. I'm not talking about the one where your knees are bent and you're doing calf raises, but I'm talking about primarily when your legs are straight, okay? Because when your legs are bent, it's not necessarily hitting the gastrocnemius. That's the thicker part of our calves. It's more so hitting the soleus, which is the lower part of our leg, like closer to our ankles and our feet. We want to hit that thick part, and the only way we really hit that thick part of our calves is by doing straight leg calf raises. All right, channel, since you found the video helpful, be sure to drop me a like, comment anything that you want to share down below. If you want to add anything, whatever you may have found helpful, down below in the comments, and then also be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, channel, so we out of here. Let's get to the action.